Welcome back to the highly original podcast. I'm Joe Martino
Michael Ianieri.
And we are here on episode 11?
11.
All right.
11. That's 2 ones.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
It is.
Let's tap each other up for that one, man.
Hey. All right.
Oh, man, yeah.
So we are in part 3 of our Italian American Heritage and Culture Month. So we'll be highlighting 3 more famous Italian Americans.
I'm excited.
Today. And yeah, Mike. You ready to hear who we got today?
I gotta say, these past 2 episodes are awesome, man. Yeah, so I'm really excited about this.
No, yeah. So it's been a lot of research though.
Yeah,
it took me longer than I thought it would, but all right. So tonight, the first one we got up is Frank Sinatra.
Oh,
Old Blue Eyes.
Oh, Blue Eyes, my man.
Yeah. So this is one that you guys probably everybody should know. Exactly. I don't know if everybody does know. Everybody should know who Frank Sinatra is. I'm not saying you should know everything about his life, but
at least Frank Sinatra.
He's a major influential entertainer. So,
GOAT, I think. In my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean,
although I will add real quick, who do you find yourself liking more, Dean Martin or Frank Sinatra?
I do not mean any disrespect to Dean Martin. I love Dean Martin. Such I like Volati is such a song that brings back like my grandfather, my grandmother singing that. I love Dean Martin, but Frank Sinatra is the guy in my opinion.
I feel you. So the way I see it, I prefer Dean Martin, but I do believe Frank Sinatra is the more impactful. Right. On popular culture and the industry.
I love how Dean.
So does that make sense? But
sure, yeah.
Personally, I like Dean Martin's music a little bit better.
Dino goes in Italiano language, man. I love it.
He really did. He favored that.
That's why I had to state like no disrespect to Dean Martin, man.
So Frank Sinatra was born in 1915 in Hoboken, New Jersey. He began his career as a teenager learning music by ear. He actually never learned how to read music.
Really?
So it was always by ear with him.
Respect that, man.
Yeah, and he got his first break in 1935, and after performing with a string of bands, he actually wasn't the band leader. He would just sing for the band, and musicians in the band might be like the leader.
Okay.
So after doing that for a while, he went solo in 1941 after actually having like a legal battle with like his last guy with the band. And then he began a successful career in both music and film. And then after a career downturn in the late 1940s, he started doing like Vegas work. And his career experienced a rebirth in the 1950s, and it continued in the 1960s. Around that time, he took up leadership of the Rat Pack, which is a group of associated entertainers, actors, and comedians. When Frank Sinatra was the leader, it was the core group. I'd say was him, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., and Joey Bishop.
Yeah, that was
the kind of core.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I know.
So they often performed together, toured together, and all that. He also played a major part in the first presidential campaign for John F. Kennedy. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I kind of heard.
He was a big part in that presidential campaign in 1960. After which he actually had a falling out with Kennedy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they did, but during that campaign they were pretty closely. Pretty tight, and he was a major part of that campaign.
Wow.
And with the exception of a brief retirement, Sinatra performed throughout his life and acted in film and appeared in variety shows and hosted shows.
Yeah, man.
I've seen some funny clips of him with Dean Martin. Was they were a little bit older, doing like shows together, on TV, especially.
Smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, like they were. Yeah,
they're funny. Don Rickles and everything.
Yeah. And he passed away in 1998 in Los Angeles, California.
And noticing a trend with these Italians passing away in California.
Well, because I feel like they would get. Well, some of the older guys is because they immigrated out there, but Frank, like I think, entertainment business, he moved out there. Yeah. So, yeah, and he became one of the best-selling artists of all time.
Yeah,
so Frank Sinatra is a major player. I grew up. I earlier podcast going to mass and going to the grocery store on Sundays with my parents. Nothing but Frank Sinatra.
For real, man.
Sundays with Sinatra, hosted by Sid Mark. So our next guy that we're profiling is Lee Iacocca.
Ooh, okay.
So he was born Lido Anthony Iacocca. He went by Lee because it was a little bit easier for people to pronounce.
Right.
He was born in Allentown in 1924. Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Not too far from us,
Not too
Mike.
far from here at all.
I mean, a little bit of a hike.
25, 30?
I'd say an hour.
Ooh.
Yeah.
25 times 2?
Yeah.
There you go.
20.
I was right.
Yeah. And after obtaining his master's degree in 1948, he joined the Ford Motor Company as an engineer.
That's it.
And he was only an engineer for like a little bit, and then he wanted to join the sales and marketing department. And his local campaigns in Philadelphia, the Philadelphia area, went national. So he was moved to the corporate headquarters in Dearborn, Michigan, where he quickly was promoted, and he became president of the company in 1970.
That's it.
So during his time at Ford, he helped design several models, including the Mustang, as well as reviving the Mercury brand, the Mercury car brand. Yeah. But after kind of getting in a dispute and having clashes with Henry Ford II, he was fired in 1978. So that same year, he was hired to be president of Chrysler, which at the time was on the verge of going out of business. And he oversaw the company during its 1979 bailout. He rebuilt the company throughout the 1980s and retired in 1992. So he kind of saved Chrysler.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know that.
Now, in 1995, he assisted Kirk Kerkorian in a failed hostile takeover of Chrysler, which ultimately failed. But he later reconciled with the company and served as a spokesman for Chrysler during a 2005 campaign. So things were repaired between them.
Nice, yeah.
And aside from being an executive, he authored 2 successful books, including an autobiography. He passed away in 2009 in Bel Air. 2009,
wow.
Yeah. And then the last guy I got for us is Gino Baroni. So this guy, I think, I didn't know about this guy until I was doing research. So Gino Baroni was born in Augusta, Pennsylvania in 1930. He was ordained a Catholic priest in 1956. And he served in Pennsylvania, several cities, until he was assigned to a parish in Washington, D.C., where he ministered to a poor congregation. So while he was there, he began to serve on several church offices that were like for urban affairs. And he was the Catholic coordinator for Martin Luther King Jr.'s 1963 March on Washington, where, that's the pretty big moment of the civil rights. So he was representing the Catholics in that march. And that's where, of course, to the listeners, Martin Luther King delivered the I Have a Dream speech.
Right, iconic.
And he also marched with King in Selma, Alabama in 1965, which, I don't know if any of you guys saw. There was a movie Selma a few years ago about that march. And then throughout the 1970s, he served and led, he founded some organizations that advocated for economic, social, and racial justice, and he helped write 2 congressional bills that became law in these areas. And then in 1975, he founded and served as the first president of the National Italian American Foundation.
Okay.
And shortly before he died, he visited South Africa in 1984 and toured its segregated townships and met with anti-apartheid activist Bishop Desmond Tutu. but he died that same year after a long battle of cancer. So he wasn't able to really campaign in the anti-apartheid movement.
That's sad for someone who was so influential.
But yeah, I mean, he really, I'd definitely say he was one of the interesting Italian Americans that I found in my research. I knew who Lee Iacocca was.
Yeah,
I knew who Frank Sinatra. Although I will say, I didn't know Lee Iacocca helped design the Mustang.
You didn't know that?
No.
Oh, shit.
I didn't know that he saved Chrysler from
I
going out of business. I just knew he was like a successful businessman.
Yeah.
Like that, and Lee and Michael Scott has his book in the office. Yeah. That's like what I knew about him. But yeah, so he and Gino Baroni were definitely two interesting figures that
Gino Baroni especially.
Yeah, I mean,
It's awesome.
Kind of sum up, it kind of goes to show, Mike, like Italian American community has made an impact in so many different areas. I mean, today we did like civil rights and justice activism, entertainment, and business and engineering there, essentially. So I mean, it just goes to show, like it's we're a well-rounded community that has made an impact in this country, and not to get too soapboxy, but kind of shows United States is a nation of immigrants, and all these people come around. We all contribute and add to things.
And that's what's so beautiful, man. Especially to hear about the last profile you did there, Gino Baroni.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Monsignor Gino Baroni.
Yeah, that was just, man. That was probably out of everything I heard so far the most fascinating. To hear that he was with Dr. Martin Luther King.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool to learn, especially about the guys like you don't hear about.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think he was probably like the nicest out of all these people.
Okay.
He just seemed.
So he's been like your favorite to learn about.
I think so. Yeah. I didn't know any of that. I'd say so.
Yeah,
I'd taking it away from the nuclear.
Yeah. He was your favorite. He was your favorite.
I loved him, man.
Enrico Fermi from.
Enrico Fermi.
I think from last episode.
It was, yeah.
Okay.
10,
Yeah, okay, yeah. But yeah, I think Amedeo Giannini and Gino Baroni have been they were some of the most interesting guys I feel like I've learned about during this little series we've been running here on the show.
Well, I gotta say, Joe, I think I could say on behalf of a lot of people that would listen to this, I really, God's honest, I love this little thing we got going on for Italian American, Pride Month or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, and if you're Italian American, I hope you're enjoying this series, and if you're not, I hope you're enjoying this series too.
Learning something.
But my advice from my experience before we kind of wrap this up is if you're not Italian American, look up your community. Look up your famous people, and you might be surprised to see, wow, my people had a pretty big impact. I didn't know some of this stuff.
I did not either.
I knew some of it, but I didn't know all of it. And
well, if you didn't know it, I definitely didn't know it.
What I did know, I didn't know these other big things. Like Lee Iacocca, I knew he was a businessman.
Right.
Didn't know he saved Chrysler. I knew Amedeo Giannini. I knew an Italian American founded the Bank of America. Didn't know that he financed Walt Disney's first motion picture. Yeah, so
changed the game in cinema.
Yeah, so
not even animation, cinema in general.
Yeah. So yeah, I would recommend look up your own community and you'll find them.
Yeah,
I'm
for
sure.
For sure. Everybody really incorporated a lot to this country, and it's just awesome to hear everybody's stories.
Yeah, and we're gonna have one more in this series with next week's episode.
Yep.
And then we will take a hiatus from it until next October.
Year, yeah, I like it.
All right, Mike. So back to our agenda. All right. So actually, on the agenda, we have more Italian American stuff, and this was at your suggestion that we keep this in, because this was one of those things. It was this between this and another one. But it's Italian American Heritage Month, so I agree with Mike that we should keep this in.
Right.
And it is Italian American stereotypes, but in a negative way.
Right. And not even just a negative way, in what may seem like like innocent, but is also just really like annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
So,
like, they don't. I doubt these people are trying to be like rude. You know?
Yeah. So, kind of to go up, we're kind of talking about when people kind of come up to me and Mike and treat us like treat us like cartoon characters. So, I'll speak for myself. I think I'm speaking for Mike too. I enjoy a good parody of Italians. I enjoy, it's fun. It's fine.
Yeah.
But something that bothers me, Mike, is when I meet someone for the first time and I just shook their hand and they discover I'm Italian and now they're doing like Lady and the Tramp impersonations, that big chef that comes out and sings Bella Notte. Like they're doing that at me and I'm just kind of looking at them like, wow, how am I supposed to react right now?
Yeah, no, for sure.
It's like, why do you, like, and some of you guys, might be like, oh, Joe, you're being a whiny baby. But, like, it's annoying when you're meeting someone and they walk up, they just start doing, like,
like Italian
a parody of your ethnicity.
Yeah,
for, like, no reason. I'm like, why are you so comfortable just doing this to me right now? Like, this is how you first interact with someone that you meet?
Yeah,
like, I don't know.
I agree with you, brother. I agree with you there, man.
I don't know. I know you said you had some some quote grievances.
Yeah,
so
I'll
let you start it off.
I just feel like, man, people really think that it's okay to be like, hey, yo, he's an Italian. Oh, like very stereotypical because I don't know why. I don't know. Is it because that you and me are walking stereotypes? Maybe. Do we look like stereotypes?
I mean, maybe. Yeah. I mean, I will say, sometimes, I think Mike and I enjoy our heritage, so we do.
You know what I mean?
We do like to,
like
jump into it, but I guess,
someone told me one time, hey man, you're like the most Italian guy I ever saw, and I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then one person called me a Dago Delight. Like this is like first meeting me.
Whoa!
Like, yeah. I had somebody go like, yo, those are nice shoes. Wherever they go, or not, wherever you go, they go. And I was like,
gee.
Okay.
Well, like that first meeting,
they were being polite. They were expecting a laugh from me.
They're being polite? I wouldn't say they're being polite,
being
Mike.
Like pricks, but they're in a polite
shake
way.
your hand and call you a Dago? That's not polite.
That's not, dude, my uncle would have snapped. Like my uncle from Italy, Michael Pasquale, he would have flipped his lid. You can't say Guinea, you can't say Dago, you can't say anything like that around him. He's from Italy, and like they had to, go through a lot.
Man, Mike,
so he takes that to heart, man. And I just feel like it's not. I feel like, hey, Rocky Balboa, Goodfellas, I'm just sick and tired of hearing that stuff.
See, I feel like that's more of what I might get, but I don't think I don't think anyone's ever walked up to me, met me for the first time, and said, "What's up, Dago Delight?" Yeah, that's pretty intense.
They were Italian too, but
but that makes it a little bit.
It's like I thought they were Italian. His name was Lee something. I'm not gonna say his name.
I will say, for disclosure, man, you did call me a slur pretty quickly after we met when we were working together.
I probably did,
but I didn't take it as an insult because I was like, all right, he's Italian. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna be like, all right, man. It don't matter, but like.
Curious now.
No, but
no, I'm kidding. Yeah, but like. Yeah, I like you said, man. Like one time somebody came up to you.
But still, it wasn't the first time you met me though. This was.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we had been working together for like a couple months, and
yeah, like you said, somebody was like specifically calling you Italian Joe. Like you know what I mean? Like
so, it wasn't someone. It was a group of people.
It was a group of people. That's you don't see me going, hey, that's Vietnamese Fred.
Yeah, like no.
Like, I'm not. I'm not offended. I don't care.
And the funny thing,
people like it just gets annoying, bro.
The funny thing when I was, like with that group. That was calling me Italian Joe, they would introduce me to other people as Italian Joe.
Like you're a mascot. Like you're
yeah,
it's annoying, bro.
It's annoying. I'm a cartoon character.
Yo, one time somebody introduced me.
And I would say to them, like this new person, I'd be like, hi, I'm Joe. I happen to be Italian American. Like,
yeah,
I would try to kind of make it clear to like them, like.
Yeah, it's not fun.
But yeah, I would meet people like, I'd say like, in the past 2 years, I'd say like, I met a lot of people who would like, just start breaking into like accent routines,
it's
like
actually annoying.
And I was like, and I'm like thinking like, you know, not to like, I don't know, like compare it to like, oh, as you were saying, like, oh, here's Vietnamese Frank, like you just don't like mimic someone's ethnicity like upon first meeting. Like it's like the same reason you wouldn't like go up to like a Chinese person and like bow to them, and be like
specifically
doing like some like accent.
Yeah, it'd be offensive.
Yeah,
like, it'd be like
it's
like I said, hey, if everybody was cool, man.
And I'm not trying to compare like discriminations or anything. I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea that I'm like saying.
Yeah, no, they know
that I've suffered more. That's not what I'm saying.
Well, none of us. Yeah, all right, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to make that clear. I'm not trying to compare groups' experiences. I'm just trying to make the point of, you know, you can make jokes with people, but you don't want.
You don't want to mimic.
Why do you want? Yeah. You don't want to be like that's your first impression, like.
Somebody came up to me one time.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, like they had a family meet me for the first time. I forgot where I was. Hey, Mike, dude, do the voice. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about voice? There it is. And I'm like, what? Like, what are you talking about? I guess I have an accent somewhat.
Yeah.
And I guess it sounds like
British, right?
Yeah, I'm actually from British. Yeah, I'm from British. Yes. Joe, I'm very tired.
Guys, it is
11:45.
It's almost 12 o'clock. We're pretty tired.
This is our third episode.
But we're gonna keep going.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I cut out Monster, man. It's affecting me.
Joe, it's alright, buddy. Look, we'll keep this one brief. We'll keep this one short. We'll keep this one sweet, man. I think it is very irritating when, like, a non-Italian, especially, like, I'm not trying to be anything, especially, like, a white person who always complains about racism, when they're the always ones that go like this. Hey, Italiano, hey, this like fucking kind of stupid. Like, get out of here. I don't want to hear all that stuff, bro. Like, that actually gets on my nerves, bro. Like, that really, I'm shaking right now.
No,
I can't stand that stuff.
No, it's really annoying.
I don't go like, hey, Lucky Charms. I don't do that to people that are Irish, you know, because I can care less. Like, but why do you gotta do that to, like, you know what I mean? What the frick is that?
No, yeah, I got you, man.
Got emotional here, bro. Sorry.
I got you.
Down here.
But like, yeah. So my thing is, hey. And I'm not trying to say, I make fun of myself for my Italian stereotypes.
Right.
I think it's funny. I laugh when my friends do it. They make fun of me and stuff. That's okay. I guess what I'm trying to get at is, when you first meet someone, you don't come out of the bat doing ethnic jokes.
Yeah. No,
it's as simple as that, guys. It's as simple as that. Like, because I don't know you.
Right.
So you're just kind of showing me that you don't respect me by doing that.
Right.
Now, if you're my friend, or we've known each other for a little bit, and you can do it, that's funny. Or if you can pull it off that it's actually funny, maybe you can get away with it upon first meeting. But it better actually be, like, funny, not just some, like, pizza pie!
Yeah, something like that, yeah. Hey, you got a cannoli? No, I don't.
Yeah, like stuff like that. Yeah, you gotta. Anyways, I don't know. That might.
Joe, you and me, man. I think we could be like the new spokesman for Italiano.
We're just like the new
Italiano spokesman.
The new Italian Foundation.
I like it. Let's just start it right now. The highly original Italian Foundation.
Have you ever thought about joining like an Italian American like social organization?
I'm a member of the Pole and Barrel Club, man.
Which one is it?
The Pole and Barrel Club, the Bocce Club. My grandfather was like a member.
Yo, man, I'd love to be a member of the Bocce Club. I love bocce. Nah, there's a club near me. I'm thinking about joining.
Oh yeah, nah, you should, bro. You should. It's a good time.
Yeah, I
just a lot of the old heads in there too, man. I got so many stories.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm just like, I feel like it'd be good for me.
It would.
I feel like it'd be good for me.
Definitely would love it, man. One day you gotta come over here, bro. You gotta come to one in Ardmore.
I will definitely come.
Pole and Barrel Club,
I'll play bocce. Like I haven't played in a while. I won't play.
Sadly, the Americans took over. It's not horseshoes. There's no more bocce, but it's still called the Bocce Club, man. But there's no more bocce ball. It's so sad. Like the bocce court was awesome.
And wait, it's just horseshoes now?
It's just horseshoes.
All right, Mike. Honestly, like,
you don't want to go?
Not kind of now.
It's not,
sorry.
It's not called the horseshoe club.
No,
you know what
I don't really want to go now.
It's not called Lupiere de Cavallo. You know what I mean? The horseshoe club. It's called the bocce club. But I don't know why they got horseshoes over there.
Yeah,
I don't know why I said horseshoe in Italian. I don't know why I did that.
But how about you and I find a place to play bocce ball?
No, for sure, bro. If I had all my bocce stuff, man, like I'm an old addict.
I do. I have a bocce set.
Yeah, I think there's a place in Newtown Square.
Or if I join this club, they do bocce leagues.
Well, let me know. Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, you'll come. We'll get half off drinks.
I like it.
It'll be a great time.
I'm down.
You guys can tell that we're pretty tired on this episode, huh?
For sure. But you know what? We want you guys to get to know us. We want you to understand, like, this is our process.
Yeah.
This is us.
My mom.
Italian American.
I thought you were gonna freestyle.
Hey, Italiano, Americano, Joe over here, Siciliano, Calabrese.
I'm not. You.
I was trying to rap, bro. I was trying to rap.
I was like, I'm not.
You think all these rappers mean what they say?
Sicilian.
I know.
Okay.
I'm Sicilian, but
I forgot you are Sicilian.
A little bit Sicilian. Un po' Sicilian. Casolano, Sicilian.
I still want to put this in. Weird phases. You ever go through weird phases in your life?
I went through a weird physical phase, Joe. Like that I didn't intend on going through, yeah.
What was that? I definitely know. Because I definitely didn't put you up to this. Because I definitely didn't just want to post a picture of this.
You definitely don't know what I'm about to say. You definitely didn't hear the story from me.
This definitely is not highly originally orchestrated by me.
No. You're not like Emperor Palpatine. You're not.
Everything is proceeding as I have foreseen. Do it.
Oh my god.
This is bad. All right. No, it's good. I like it. It's good bad, man.
It's good bad. What was the question again, Joe? I'm not
gonna lie. Tell them about how you used to look like Rosie O'Donnell.
That's basically. I used to look just like Rosie O'Donnell. It was a bad phase. I didn't try to look like Rosie O'Donnell. I couldn't grow facial hair. I was I was eating a lot of food, I was a little chunky, I look like Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah, it's no lie, and we're gonna post the picture. He straight up looked like Rosie O'Donnell.
It was I'm not proud.
Almost kind of sounded like her too.
I'm not proud of this. Well, I don't know about that. Maybe I did. Maybe I still do. I don't know.
No, you don't now.
No, but I definitely do. I would always get called like Rosie O'Donnell. I would always find names for my friends, man. I loved it. I owned it. I didn't own it. Like, I loved it. Like, no one would love to be called Rosie O'Donnell, but I was. So I said I'm gonna go with this. It was like my marketing scheme.
Sorry, am I like bullying you right now?
So you're bullying me, bro. I'm really nervous, bro.
Yeah.
I'm getting so nervous, bro.
Well, don't worry, because I'm about to tear myself apart.
As long as you're not gonna introduce yourself to me being like weird about Italian people, then I'm good. Are you gonna do that? Or are you gonna be like, hey, Italian Mike?
Oh yeah? No, I'm not gonna do that.
Then I'm good.
I'm not gonna do that.
I don't feel bullied then.
I call you Greaseball Mike. All right. Anyways,
no. What is yours though?
So I went through, man. After I graduated high school, I went through a wacky phase where I just didn't care about what I looked like physically. Dude, my hair was a mess.
Yeah.
I would wear like pajamas all the time.
Yeah.
It was bad. And it was when I was in King's College in Wilkes-Barre. It was like the pinnacle of it.
No.
And all right, for those of you guys who don't know, Wilkes-Barre is not like necessarily like a great city. Like it's downtown is like, yeah, like, it's not
average,
like
subpar?
No, like there's like sketchy characters just in the downtown.
Right.
Like it's not like a
I got you.
It's not like a yeah, it's fine. I like
for a stroll at nighttime kind of town.
But guess who would stroll at nighttime?
Joe.
Me in my pajamas with my crazy hair. Just so basically, I would go to a Turkey Hill that was famous for being frequently robbed at night, and I would buy energy drinks.
Okay.
Yeah, because this was my I don't care phase.
I like it.
And I think partially because of what I looked like, people might not try to bother me.
They probably thought you were the one they were.
Yeah, I either looked like I was out trying to steal someone's money, or I looked insane. Like I just looked like an insane person, and they're just like, "Oh, All right, well.
You gotta just break out of Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like, especially I was a bigger guy then too, so you know, people don't want to try to go against like a big guy. But I also looked like crazy, right. So that might have helped. That might have helped be as a deterrent.
It definitely might have helped.
But yeah.
But like, were you like, was that as bad as the Rosie O'Donnell phase?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know, man.
Think so.
You don't think so?
I can say with certainty now.
All right.
Shout out to my friend Tyreek. He would always call me Rosie O'Donnell. And like when we were both younger, I looked like Rosie O'Donnell, and I would always call him Little Bill. That was a running joke. He said I look like an Italian Rosie O'Donnell. Reek. Back to the Italian jokes, bro.
Okay. So anyways.
I gotta send this to my friend Tyreek.
Where am I?
Bro, we got Spider-Man to talk about.
Yeah, that's right. Spider-Man.
36 minutes in. 36 minutes in this episode. We are like 5 hours in production. No stopping. Spider-Man 1 and 2 and 3, the Sam Raimi trilogy.
Yeah, we're gonna do the Sam. I'm shutting down.
Let's keep this though. We're not deleting this. This is good.
Shutting
the
down.
audience needs to see what we do for them just to not like our stuff.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
I was gonna say something clever too.
Say it.
I don't remember, Mark.
Joe!
All right.
Come on!
All right, guys. So we're gonna do the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy.
Yeah.
And
man.
So, Mike, this was clearly your favorite superhero film.
For sure.
And I'm gonna say like this film series, I think, was like a game changer.
Oh, for sure, brother. For sure.
With superhero films. So, guys, for those of you that don't know, Spider-Man, the trilogy started in 2002, and they were directed by Sam Raimi, as Mike mentioned. Tobey Maguire played Spider-Man. Kirsten Dunst played Mary Jane Watson.
Phenomenally.
James Franco played
Harry
Osborn. And we also have Willem Dafoe.
Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin.
Norman Osborn.
Yeah, man.
I'd say
that's an all-star studded cast.
All right, so let me go with Willem Dafoe first. I think Willem Dafoe is a phenomenal actor.
Yeah, he is, man.
And a little quick plug to one of his movies that I think a lot of people didn't see. It's called The Florida Project. Mike, if you're a fan of Willem Dafoe, I would suggest you see this. He's playing a different type of character in this.
Is this where he's like a father or something like that?
He's not a father, but
there's like a child.
He's sort of like a father figure. So he plays a hotel or a motel manager that a little girl and her, her teenage mother. Her mother's, I think, like 20 by that time, but had her when she was a teenager. They live in this motel outside of Disney World, and he kind of looks after them in a sense, especially the little girl, and it's a fantastic film. I could do an episode on that.
Yeah, on that.
Because the direction on that film's right. But we're talking about Spider-Man, so yeah. Sorry.
No, you just looked like you had a shot of adrenaline.
Sorry. Well, no, man. You know, I like cinema.
I know.
So, like, and that's
awesome. Come on.
The direction in that one is
just
how the cinematography.
Well, I didn't want to bring it up, but you mentioned that movie to me like a year ago, and I should have watched it. You showed me a clip though, bro, and I was like, it was like very emotionally like.
Oh yeah, I did describe it to you because
you did. Yeah, it was
the camera angles they use it's brilliant.
Yeah,
like
man.
it's just
man. You were showing me some stuff.
But
Willem Dafoe though, he really is such a versatile actor, and for him to step in a role as like Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin, I feel like you could have casted anybody in that role, and it would have not had the impact. Even people would be like, "Oh, well, you wouldn't have known because Willem Dafoe wouldn't have been the Green Goblin," yada yada yada. But still, it would not have had that impact. He was maniacal, bro. Like he was phenomenally maniacal.
But what I think is interesting about the Spider-Man, the Sam Raimi trilogy, and I was gonna say it was influential because it was like the first successful Marvel Spider, like a superhero film.
After Blade was like, I feel like Blade was like, it was like
But that was like
was no
that was like
Daredevil,
gritty. They were doing gritty stuff, but this was like the first like you know kind of
superhero
golden agey spider, you know, or not spider,
know
superhero. But and I like that it was kind of a campy movie, but like I had serious, like it was still endearing. You know what I mean?
For sure, man.
And despite being campy, man, kind of speaking of the Green Goblin, and for those of you guys who haven't seen the film, the Green Goblin is kind of like Spider-Man's Joker. Right. You know, he's the arch nemesis, I'd say. Right? Or you're the more the comic book fan. Okay.
No, he is, bro. Somebody say he's actually worse than the Joker.
Okay. I mean, I guess it depends on what iteration of the Joker. Right. Yeah, because I'm a favorite Batman, man. I'm really over Spider-Man. Because, you know, I took The Dark Knight best superhero film, and you said this.
You did.
But I think the Green Goblin in that Spider-Man is genuinely, like, terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, there's a scene where Aunt May, who is, you know, Peter Parker's aunt, who was kind of raised him from childhood because he was orphaned by his birth parents. She's like saying her night prayers, and she's saying the Our Father, and she's like, and lead us not into temptation.
She's looking at a picture of her late
but
husband.
deliver us, she's like, but deliver us, and then like her house like blows up, and the Green Goblin like rides in on like this hover scooter. But it's like a hoverboard almost, and he's like, and she's just like, you know, as she would be. It's this old lady terrified, and he's like, finish the prayer or something. He's
like, finish it.
And she's like, evil, and he's like, ha ha ha. It's like because like the Green Goblin costume, like he looks like the devil, but he's green. Like it's like the scariest scene. And then the one scene that scares the crap out of me is when there's like a fire in an apartment building. And they have to save like a person. He saves the baby. Goes back.
They're like, someone's still up there.
And like
old lady with
it's like an old lady. He's got a blanket. It's like and like Spider-Man's like, hey, and he grabs their shoulder and turns around. It's the Green Goblin. He's like, ha ha! Like
that was scary.
And it like that like made me jump.
Do you remember right after him and Dr. Strom had their little accident? They were trying to get the formula, like the one that.
Well, yeah, explain how does the Green Goblin become the Green Goblin? Yeah.
Well, yeah. So in Sam Raimi's film, they had a contract basically with the military, and they were trying to make this like performance enhancer drug,
like a super soldier.
Superhuman. Yeah, basically like Captain America. Okay. Like a super soldier drug. And they were going to pool Norman Osborn's funding, but his professor and like longtime partner and everything, Dr. Strom, was like, well, yeah, they were going to pool his funding because they said, the trials have not been successful with this, and you know, the general doesn't like Norman Osborn or Eddie. He's like, I'll be quite frank with you, like the only reason why I'm even here is because my predecessor, liked you, whatever. I never liked you. It's just something along those lines. So Dr. Strom goes, well, we got to take this whole line of serum back to formula. And Norman Osborn is just like distraught by that because he knows he can't afford that much time. They're going to pull his funding and he's going to be out of his company that he created. Mm-hmm. So he, convinces Dr. Strom that they're gonna try a human test on Norman, and they do, and it does not go right. And
kind of gives him, well, it kind of goes right.
Yeah, well, it does go right, but in the wrong way.
But the side effect is he develops like a split personality disorder.
That's what Dr. Strom mentions when he's talking, because they were like, and how about that? Because the general of the military was like, and how did the test go on animals? And he was like, he said something along the lines of like, temporary insanity, and then like he basically, if like the Green Goblin was an animal, that's it was hard.
So like it's sort of like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind of thing, like
yeah. So I think one of the scariest parts for me though is when he kills Dr. Strom, right? He's the Green Goblin now without the suit, basically.
Well, he also kills the board of his company too.
Yeah, he does. The festival, yeah.
You think? He's like, you can't do this to me.
Yeah,
everything I've sacrificed.
Yeah,
like that scene.
Yeah, his own company. Yeah, it was crazy, man. And he only became the Green Goblin to not, you know what I mean, to not lose his business. But he lost. He went insane. And I think one of the scariest parts is when he first wakes up in his mansion, and Harry's like, Dad, what are you doing on the floor? And this is like right after he like takes his serum, whatever. And he's like, last thing I remember is, and then you just hear it's like a pop up of like the Green Goblin like at the screen. That would always horrify me as a kid.
Oh yeah.
But that I mean his origin story is definitely like crazy. It's
I mean
up,
it was a great I think a great character, and you know what. So like kind of to get a little bit, because I feel like we really went down the Green Goblin angle.
Right.
You know the main plot of the first Spider-Man is Peter Parker graduates high school and gets his job at the Daily Bugle,
right,
where his boss,
J. Jonah Jameson,
is played by J.K. Simmons.
Right.
So good at the part, they gave him the role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Crazy,
they just brought him back.
That was so cool when I saw that. He was just bald in this one though. He had like the crop top in the other one. Yeah. This time he just had the mustache.
But like, because he was so good at it, they brought him back in the redoing of it.
I was afraid because I was like, they can't recast J. Jonah Jameson, man. He did, and real quick, Spider-Man 1. He is such a real one, man. Because do you remember when the Green Goblin, like right after Peter Parker leaves his office, like towards like it's like a quarter into or 3/4 into the movie, Green Goblin busts through the Daily Bugle just like he did at Aunt May's house.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Who is the photographer that takes the pictures of Spider-Man?" And J. Jonah Jameson does not say it was Peter Parker. He's like, "I don't know who he is. This stuff comes in the mail." And Green Goblin's like, "You're lying!" All this, and then there comes Spider-Man, saves the day, somewhat. Yeah. Green Goblin turns around, he's like, sleep. Hit him with that like sleeping.
Oh yeah. He was so creepy.
Bro, I'm telling you, because dude, you remember before that he was having a conversation with himself in his mirror about how he was like, we have to get Spider-Man to join us. He was talking to himself. Oh yeah. Green Goblin was talking to Norman.
Those were like, I love those scenes with him talking to the mirror.
Yeah, that's why Sam Raimi is such an amazing creator, such an amazing director. You know,
But in the end, Spider-Man is able to defeat the Green Goblin.
Right.
Because the Green Goblin like pretends that he's like Norman Osborn again. Right. And he's like, help me, you know. And then he like hits his remote and has the glider to come flying with blades into Spider-Man, but he jumps and then the glider goes right into him.
And him kills himself.
And then that sets up, you know, in the next movie where Harry Osborn begins to have a strained relationship with Peter, and
it wasn't because upright in the beginning he knew Peter was Spider-Man. He just knew Peter was his photographer. Like, Peter wasn't like giving him any information, and then it wasn't until Doc Ock brought Spider-Man to Harry for that tritium. Remember that? He wanted that tritium to recreate his experiment that killed his wife and caused him to have these crazy robotic arms.
Well, and I think Doc Ock is a great villain. I do think that Spider-Man and Batman have some of the best written villains.
For sure, man. For sure. I honestly think so.
Like,
dude, you look at Marvel's villains, and like, I'm not trying to be funny or nothing, but like, a majority of the good ones that like hold any water, like they're all Spider-Man villains. Like, they're all like,
I think the deepest written ones.
Yeah, like, I mean, yeah.
You know, you got like,
you definitely have a lot of villains, but you look at Marvel villains, you're gonna be like Spider-Man.
You know, like you got Ultron, he's just the evil robot. You know, it's like,
no, for sure.
But like, I feel like Spider-Man villains, they get a lot of character development.
Right. No, exactly.
And I think Doc Ock was a great one because he like really, you know, he's another one where like he gets like a, you know, kind of AI tentacles in his spinal cord.
Right.
And he like they kind of it messes up his mind, and he
put like a chip that would protect that from happening.
Yeah,
and when his experiment went wrong,
it short-circuited,
and it was crazy, man. It was, you know.
But I like what's his like. He has a pretty good way going out. He sacrifices himself, right? But what does he say? He's like,
I have to drown him. I have to drown these things with me. He's like basically telling Peter like. This is when, like, he's not Doc Ock anymore. He's back to just Otto Octavius.
Yeah.
And he said something along the line. Peter was like, how do we stop it? Because remember that sun was starting to grow again? He basically made that mini sun. I had the power of the sun in the palm of my hand. And it started growing again. And Peter was like, how do we stop it? Like, this is going to destroy the city. Just like that, Otto Octavius came back. And he was like, it has to drown. Like, we have to drown it. And then Peter was getting ready to, like, do it. And then he grabbed him and he was like, I'll do it. then he killed himself.
Yeah, because he's like, it's my...
He couldn't live with himself.
It's my experiment.
Dude.
I did this, I have to solve it or something.
Right, and to go back to Sam Raimi's, like, directorial, like, past with, like, horror, when he's in that hospital, and his tentacles are hung up, and, like, there's, like, 5-6 surgeons, and they're getting ready to operate and take the tentacles off his spine. Mm-hmm. They're like, yeah, these needles are fused to his spine, vertebrae, that's going to be a really tough procedure. They got the chainsaw, all the stuff, they're getting ready to cut these arms off, and you see, like, one of them kind of, like, come to life. And, dude, Doc Ock murders every surgeon in that room, and then, like, busts out the hospital, flips over a taxi, and, like, horrifying, man. And with Spider-Man, it's always such like a battle of like coming to terms with like powers. I guess like the first one, Peter Parker's getting his powers, and he wants to use them for good. Norman gets these powers, but use them for evil, and they just kind of like they evolve and grow together. You know, Peter ends up losing his powers in Spider-Man 2 as Doc Ock is like,
but it's all they're also very human characters. You know,
exactly.
Like there's always like
because they weren't bad people.
There's a humanity to his villains that I.
For sure, like they weren't all bad people. Like Doc Ock before all that happened, he seemed like a really good guy. Like he was talking to Peter about his future as a Parker, bright but lazy. Like always giving him opinion, criticism the best way possible. Norman Osborn and the Green Goblin in the beginning. Harry's dad, he was a good guy, man. He was a nice guy. So it seemed Sandman, Spider-Man 3. He's just trying to
get back to his daughter, right?
Like his daughter has cancer, and he's just trying to get enough money to save her. And that was another sad one, when Sandman like broke into his own house after he's been in jail, and the mom's just like leave, like you have no business being here.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, that was sad, man. That Venom.
I feel like I watched the first two the most, and that would be like one of those movies that I would watch when I would stay in Jersey with my cousins. So
that's awesome, man. I literally had that on VHS, man. Like I said before, I'd watch it every single day. The first one, every single day. I love that movie, man. I just think it's just art, such a ride. Like,
and I mean, there's a few things I do want to get to before we wrap up. One is in Spider-Man 3, when Peter Parker like gets infected with the Venom thing, and he starts getting all like
Bully Parker,
Bully Maguire. That meme, Bully Maguire. If you guys haven't seen it, do yourselves a favor, Google Bully Maguire right now, or type it into YouTube. It is some of the funniest clips. But when the scene when he's dancing to James Brown, like But have you? I watched a clip where they edited it, where it would actually be how it's on the street.
And he's like,
there'd be no music, and he's just clapping and just moving his arms around, and he's just like. As he's moving his hips, like.
I guess he rewatched that,
and you just hear a girl walk by, ew. It's so funny.
It looked like they were checking him out though, man. In the movie, because I guess the music.
I think one of them does. One of them looks at him
like he's weird.
What's wrong with you? Yeah, because he's doing finger guns to women because he's walking down the side,
it's so cheesy. Yeah, and then he goes to get Mary Jane jealous by playing the piano in that cafe. And he had Gwen Stacy with him or something, man. Those films, man, they're just so iconic, man. They give me chills thinking about them.
There was an era of superhero films. I think that were very defined by Spider-Man. I think it did change how superhero films were going to be made.
I agree with you, brother. I agree with
you.
And Incredibles came out not too long after that, and
oh yeah, I mean,
that was.
Well, we're going to be doing an Incredibles episode, so let's save that. I mean, that is my favorite Pixar film. I think it's the best one.
I'll keep that.
But what was I going to say, man?
I love Spider-Man.
Yes.
That's all I can say. I love Spider-Man.
What I was going to go with, how happy were you with the newest Spider-Man?
With Tom Holland?
Tom Holland. No, I'm talking about where all of them come back.
Like Spider-Man, Far From Home?
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it, man.
I was so
it was amazing.
Happy.
Yeah.
I was so happy.
It was right around Christmas
when
time.
Tobey Maguire
I know! I was
comes
cheering
back.
in that theater, but I saw the movie 4 times.
So in that one, guys, that's the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so that's what all the Avengers stuff.
No Sony here. Yeah, it's Marvel's.
Well, actually, technically, it was a Sony.
Yeah, they
film. It's weird. It takes place in the cinematic universe, but it is a Sony
picture.
Yeah,
it is very weird. And that bothers me that there's that tension with them. I don't even.
You know what? But I think it's nice that they let them be part of the cinematic universe. Sure, yeah. So I'm giving a thumbs up.
Giving Andrew Garfield some more screen time is awesome. And I forgot how great he was. At first, when I first saw the movie, The Amazing Spider-Man, I was like, yeah.
A lot of people said that this movie made them kind of look back and appreciate the Amazing Spider-Man series more.
Because you know what? Because we like me and my brother, my cousin, my grandfather, all saw it in theaters. And like I remember going back home and like I think it was on Netflix, The Amazing Spider-Man. I had to rewatch it and I was like, dude, why was I such a prick? Like, why'd I judge Andrew Garfield? He's not Tobey Maguire. This isn't good. It's like, man, like he was good, man.
You're no really Tobey Maguire.
You're not Tobey. Tobey Maguire's a great actor.
No,
crazy actor.
But yeah, I was like over the moon because there was all those rumors that it was gonna be there. And at first, I was like, oh my god, people are ridiculous. And then I saw like Doc Ock's in it, and it's the same actor from the Spider-Man 2, and that looks like the Green Goblin from Willem Dafoe's incarnation. Yeah. So I started to think like maybe he will be in it.
Yeah, it was crazy.
But yeah, that was awesome, man. When they're like, all three of them are like slinging together.
Yeah, dude, it's just like music, man. I remember you and me were like, just like staying away from all spoilers, man. Like I remember working with you and just being
I
don't hear about it. I
remember we're talking. I feel like I was asking you like, you think it's gonna happen?
Yeah, and I was like,
you think it's gonna be like?
Dude, when it was just so funny when what's his name? Peter's like new friend. It's not Harry. It's
Ned.
Ned, I love Ned, bro. I can't believe I forgot his name, but Ned's like grandmom. She was hilarious.
Yeah, she's like aunt. Filipina immigrant.
She's speaking some.
No, yeah, I think they are Filipino.
Yeah, that was just funny though. She was just like, can you ask Andrew Garfield Spider-Man? Can you ask him to go remove those cobwebs from the corner over there?
Yeah.
Because like she saw that he could like climb on walls, and he was like, yeah, I got you. And like crawled over and did it. That was just awesome, man. When they came out of that portal, when you were there in the theater, was everybody going crazy?
Oh yeah.
It was. Were you cheering too?
If I didn't, cheering. I might have not cheered for Andrew Garfield.
I did because I knew it was coming, bro.
I think I might have cheered for Tobey.
Yeah. I cheered for Doc Ock. I cheered for everybody, bro.
I think Tobey Maguire. I might. Well, because with the Andrew Garfield, I was like, let's see. I don't know. I don't know. And then the circle starts opening.
I know. Oh, bro. I'm
Peter.
Chills. And you know what's crazy? That movie's back in theaters right now.
Is it really?
It's just too good. Yeah, it's too phenomenal. Like. It's great, bro. It's a great film.
Yeah, I mean, I really like Tom Holland's.
I think he's great.
Incarnation, because they're really focusing on the, not the Spider-Man, but the Spider-Boy.
Yeah.
When he is in high school,
right. like how the comic is, where Tobey Maguire is a high school student, but he's more so.
Well,
like more of a
he
man.
Quickly. The part where he's in high school is only like the first half of the movie.
He
graduates pretty quick. Yeah, it's really about him as a young adult.
As a young adult, Tom Holland is more so like like the cartoons are kind of like a lot of animated shows would always be him in school, like heavily in school.
Yeah,
I thought that was cool. I gotta say though, I like people hate on Tom Holland, people hate on Andrew Garfield. I don't really see too much hate for Tobey.
Really, people hate on Tom Holland?
Yeah,
I thought he was beloved.
I think he's beloved. But there's a lot of people.
I love the Homecoming. I saw that in theaters.
It's great. Yeah.
Michael Keaton was phenomenal as the Vulture.
I know.
And I will tell you, I was like stunned when he turns out to be the father of the girl that
Peter was going to Homecoming with. Yeah, dude, that was crazy.
When he goes up to the door, knocks on the door, and Michael Keaton answers.
I was like,
no!
I thought he was like...
And I turned to the people next to me, I was like, oh my god, can you believe that?
Yeah, bro, that was intense.
And I think they were annoyed with me, because they were not fun.
No, yeah.
I didn't know these people.
It's alright.
So maybe I was being annoying, but like,
who cares, man?
I
It's a
was
hype
like
part.
stunned, and like the whole car ride scene that they're driving there, I was just like,
Dude, yeah, I know. That was tense, man.
what? Hey, he's the dad. Like,
that was tense, yeah.
I was like, oh man.
That was definitely tense, man. I love Michael Keaton's performance, man. He did a great job the second time around playing a winged creature in a superhero film.
Yeah, I guess.
You know what I mean? Batman. But,
yeah, and I like the whole concept behind that character. They got the technology because like they got leftover technology from the battle that they had with aliens. The Avengers had with aliens.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah,
and they all lost their jobs and they were disaffected.
Right, they did a great
job. I like that.
They did a great job, man. I was really.
I feel like they wasted Childish Gambino in that movie.
Yeah, I know, man. He could have been such a great role. I forgot he was even like in that.
Exactly. Yeah, like that was a.
He's one of my favorite like musicians, like newer musicians.
Yeah.
Childish Gambino. Yeah.
I mean, I liked him from the show Community.
Oh yeah, I didn't check that out. Community.
Yeah, man.
He did some acting though. He definitely.
Oh yeah.
He's in like.
Well, he's got the show Atlanta, which is like critically acclaimed.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't.
The final season of that.
I think Childish Gambino retired, right? He's just exclusively Donald Glover now.
Oh, I didn't know.
I was positive. A couple years ago, I think. I don't know, bro. I think it was like after Redbone, like he made that song.
Oh, I love that. I think that song's one of the.
Say what? I love that, man.
I think that's an objectively great song.
Oh, for sure, bro. That is. We could be a band right now, bro. We could be like a voice band.
Daylight. All right. Now, but yeah, there's a guy when we were working together before our shift. Me and this one guy, the grill cook, we used to just sing Daylight. Like we would just be like setting up for the morning. We'd be singing that song and like every morning, and we'd just be like randomly doing this shit, be like Daylight.
Yeah, that's such a great song, man. I do think he could have done a little bit more in that movie though. Like at least. If he would have came back in the second one.
Well, just like don't cast someone else. Like don't waste talent on like a dumb
cameo.
On like a bit role. Or just do a cameo or just a brief one scener.
Yeah. But
don't bring him back for a second scene.
Yeah.
You're kinda like
I don't know, man. I forgot that part Donald Glover did. Yeah. And like the car garage or something like that.
Yeah, I don't even know. He's like a burglar. Like I don't even know what he is. Like
I will say though, I think. Let me ask you this: which Spider-Man is the most witty? Like, is the most comical? Because now Spider-Man's known for being like a jokester. As he's like getting you ready to be like arrested by the cops in his webs. Like Andrew Garfield, he was like, "Oh my god, the guy had a knife." He was like, "My one weakness, short little knives." And he was like, "Psst," hit him with his web. He was like, "Psych."
I don't know. I feel like I feel like Tom Holland's like unintentionally witty.
Right, yeah.
Whereas like I feel like maybe Tobey Maguire was a little bit more
witty, like
I don't know, yeah.
I know.
Maybe Garfield, but I only saw the one movie with him.
Because like Spider-Man's known for saying some like always like joking like with the criminals almost like puts them in a web like you gonna be hanging around for a while or something like that. Yeah. Like that's what Spider-Man's known for, almost like Deadpool. I think.
Yeah, exactly like Deadpool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's like a PG Deadpool. Dude, on the topic of Spider-Man, on the topic of Marvel, Deadpool 3, Wolverine. Did you hear about that?
I did.
That's crazy. I also heard a small rumor, and I'm only bringing this up because I heard that they want to introduce Spider-Man in that film, but they want to put Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man in there because they feel like he doesn't have a trilogy. He doesn't have, you know what I mean? And I was like, I don't see how Spider-Man's going to really pop in there, but if that happens, all right.
I mean, I feel like they're getting to the point with the Marvel where they're just like, multiverse. So, they're just going to start putting everybody in everything. So, like, you might think, like, that doesn't make sense, but, like, they'll just do it.
Spider-Pig
does whatever a Spider-Pig does.
I love that. I think that was like Homer Simpson's like last
I was almost gonna say like let's not tell them what that's from. Let's just have that. Nah, that's good. Makes more sense. I'm super tired. Nah, see that made me sound like I was just attacking you.
Joe, you were, bro.
I'm sorry.
You were, and you know what? I'm sick of it. No, I'm kidding. I think this was a great episode. By the way,
I appreciate your confidence.
You do?
I think this might be just us blabbling.
What if I shot a web?
I'm so tired. I'm starting to like slur my words.
This is just going to show that we are hard workers. You know that? You know how hard it is?
Highly original workers.
Right.
And Dennis, we're praying for you, buddy. All right.
Love you,
all right. So we're all set with the. We're gonna conclude. All right, guys. So just remember, share, like,
subscribe.
Subscribe.
Download us.
Stream us.
Follow us on Instagram.
Follow us on Instagram.
Talk about us.
Like our Instagram pictures.
Right.
Compliment Mike's jacket.
Right. It's a nice jacket.
Compliment my tracksuit.
It's a nice tracksuit.
Yeah. Tracksuits and loafers are like changing my life. All right. See you guys.
Later on. Good night.